Are you tired of spending hours searching for the perfect trading strategy only to end up overwhelmed with options that just don't deliver? What if I told you there's an AI tool designed exclusively for Lux Algo Premium indicators that does all the heavy lifting for you? Imagine finding a tested strategy in seconds, tailored to your needs. In this video, I'll show you how I use LuxAlgo's brand new AI Backtesting Assistant. Think of it as ChatGPT for traders to uncover an incredible strategy for crude oil futures. And of course, I'll be using LuxAlgo's backtesting tools to verify the results. So here's how it started. I simply asked, what's the best strategy for crude oil futures with a maximum drawdown below 50% using the Neo Cloud? And just like that, the assistant generated a strategy with a solid performance and a manageable drawdown. Before we get into the backtesting, let's go through all the details provided by the AI assistant. The net profit for this strategy comes in at an impressive $91,050. It maintains a maximum drawdown of 48.51%, which fits perfectly within the risk tolerance I was aiming for. The win rate stands at 52.41%, showcasing a balanced approach between consistent wins and manageable losses. Its profit factor is 1.58, highlighting the strategy's ability to generate profit for every dollar risked. On average, each trade yields $627.93 in profit. The average winning trade is $3,263.68, while the average losing trade is $2,275.22. There are a total of 145 closed trades in the backtesting results, providing a solid sample size. The strategy operates on a 60-minute time frame. And finally, the strategy begins tracking performance from July 7, 2021. So we have more than 3 years of backtesting data for this strategy. And as we can see here, the strategy is surprisingly simple. It relies on just two conditions, the Smart Trail and the Neo Cloud overlay, to identify valid entries. This minimalistic approach makes it both easy to implement and efficient in execution. I couldn't wait to see how it performed in the real world, so I took the strategy straight to TradingView. Inside TradingView, I started by loading the crude oil futures chart on an hourly time frame. Next, I added LuxAlgo's powerful backtester for the signals and overlays indicator. Following the AI assistant's instructions, I adjusted the settings exactly as recommended. First, the assistant specified that the strategy begins on July 7, 2021, so I set the backtest window to date and entered the start date as July 7, 2021. For long conditions, the instructions were clear. Set the Smart Trail to bullish and the Neo Cloud to bearish. For short conditions, it's the exact opposite. Set the Smart Trail to bearish and the Neo Cloud to bullish. And then the moment of truth, the backtesting results. As predicted by the AI assistant, the net profit is 910.5%, which translates to an impressive $91,050. We closed a total of 145 trades during the backtest. The win rate is over 52%, showing consistent performance. The profit factor is 1.58, proving the strategy's profitability. And finally, the maximum drawdown stayed below 50%, perfectly meeting the condition I had set in the AI assistant. The data was astounding. This strategy didn't just meet the max drawdown requirement, it delivered exceptional profitability and consistency. And the profit factor? Absolutely solid. Now, at this point, we could dive deeper into adjusting the backtester with stop loss and take profit targets. As you can see on the chart, this strategy doesn't use stop loss or take profit, it simply opens trades whenever the given conditions are met. Fine-tuning these settings can get quite advanced, and LuxAlgo's Discord community is filled with strategies and insights for this kind of optimization. But since most of you prefer manual trading, we're going to take a different approach. To make sure I had everything covered, I decided to consult the AI assistant one more time. So I asked it my next question. Alright, I really like this strategy, but it doesn't use stop loss. Can I use, for example, the Smart Trail or the most recent swing points for setting stop losses? The AI assistant responded confidently, yes, you can use the Smart Trail or recent swing points to set stop losses in your trading strategies. This answer gave me clarity, but there was still one more thing I needed to address. I wanted to know about taking profits, so I asked, and what about taking profits? I like to use a 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio. The AI assistant replied, "Yes. Here's how you can implement take profits with a 1 to 1.5 risk-to-reward ratio. First, calculate your stop-loss distance based on the smart trail or the recent swing points. Then, set your take profit level at 1.5 times that distance, ensuring a balanced and effective risk-to-reward setup." With these answers in hand, I felt ready to refine the strategy further, ensuring it was not only effective but also practical for day trading. Based on what you've seen so far, let's create a strategy with clear entry and exit conditions, incorporating a stop loss and a specific target, so it's perfectly suited for day trading. So let's click the Indicators tab and load LuxAlgo's Signals and Overlays indicator to our chart. Next, we want to adjust its settings. First, let's take a look at the basic settings. For the presets and filters, we want to use None. For the signal mode, we want to use None as well, and we do not want to use the ML signal classifier, so make sure this option is disabled. Next, for the candle coloring, we'll select Confirmation Simple. Now, we'll keep the Smart Trail enabled and also enable the Neo Cloud overlay. In the dashboard settings, make sure to set the dashboard location to Hidden. Then, go to the Style tab and scroll down to the Neo Cloud Fill section. Here, we'll adjust the colors, change the blue to red and the red to green. This adjustment is important because, while the AI assistant specifies entering a buy trade when the Smart Trail is bullish and the Neo Cloud is bearish, switching the colors ensures that a buy trade is triggered when both display a bullish color, and the opposite for sell trades. This keeps things visually consistent and easy to follow. Okay, let's see how we would enter a buy trade. For a buy signal to be valid, we need two conditions to be met. First, the Neo Cloud must be green. Second, the Smart Trail must be blue. If both conditions are met, we set our buy trade. For the stop loss, we can either use the Smart Trail or the most recent swing low. For the take profit, I recommend aiming for a 1 to 1.5 risk-to-reward ratio, which provides a balanced approach to managing risk and maximizing gains. Now, let's look at another buy trade example to reinforce the setup. In this case, we can see that the Neo Cloud is green and at the same time, the Smart Trail is blue, confirming our second condition for a valid buy signal. Once both conditions align, we enter a buy trade. For the stop loss, we place it just below the most recent swing low or below the Smart Trail. And for the take profit, we set it at a 1 to 1.5 risk-to-reward ratio, ensuring the trade offers a favorable balance between potential risk and reward. And the exact opposite is true for a sell entry. For a sell signal to be valid, we need two conditions to be met. First, the Neo Cloud must be red. Second, the Smart Trail must be red as well. If both conditions are met, we set our sell trade. For the stop loss, we can either use the Smart Trail or the most recent swing high. For the take profit, I recommend aiming for a 1 to 1.5 risk-to-reward ratio. Now, let's look at another sell trade example to reinforce the setup. In this case, we can see that the Neo Cloud is red and at the same time the Smart Trail is red as well, confirming our second condition for a valid sell signal. Once both conditions align, we enter a sell trade. For the stop loss, we place it just above the most recent swing high or above the Smart Trail, and for the take profit, we set it at a 1 to 1.5 risk-to-reward ratio, ensuring the trade offers a favorable balance between potential risk and reward. If you want to learn my best strategies for trading crypto, forex, and stocks, check out this video right here.